hoping he's got COVID, so he'll have immunity. I mean, if they would let you get away with a natural immunity, it's 100 times better than getting vaccinated.
Does he sniffer work?
He said he's not having any problems with
Yeah,
sniffing.
I can smell fine.
And you probably don't have it then. When your
Yeah.
smell goes, that's pretty sure that you have it.
Well, I didn't lose my sense of smell, but Amy completely lost hers. Couldn't smell peanut butter. She couldn't smell, cinnamon.
I don't really know if my sense of smell has been gone or not. Because yesterday, so I got sick on Sunday, and then ever since then I've had a stuffy nose, so I hadn't even been able to even attempt to smell anything.
Mm-hmm.
My sense of taste is fine.
Yeah, I mean, it
I don't know.
just sounds.
I haven't smelt anything.
Yeah, I think what really is good to smell is it. Well, I didn't lose mine, but like Roy said, it does happen. Amy she still doesn't smell very well. That's what my grandmother used to say. I don't smell so good anymore. We all start laughing. So anyway, I just wanted to. Roy's got a dream, and I know Charles has got a dream. But I just
now that you guys mention it, I'm like trying to smell a cough drop, and I can't smell it at all.
There you go. I know. Well, actually, if you just have a sore throat and stuff, you have to see if you get a fever. That's really where you get in trouble.
I've been getting like hot and cold, and been kind of cold sweating a little bit.
Well, that sounds like you do have a fever.
Yeah.
But for a fever, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to just have a light sheet. You're not supposed to put on blankets and stuff. I mean, that's what we looked it up, because what was funny is we called the doctor after Amy's got this very high fever, and we're trying to figure out what to do. And they said, we called the doctor, and they said, do you have Tylenol? I mean, they offered nothing. So then we're looking at everything. And that was one of the things they said for her fever. Just don't have a light sheet or something like that, so that you don't, so that the heat will dissipate out of your body that easier or something. I don't know. You have to look up. Anyway, I just thought I wanted to just review quickly what Dawn said last time, because I was really thinking about it. This is really a very profound thought. She's wondering if there is a frequent meeting of the inner nature with a fortunate outer nature through dreams or whatever technique to reach what is underneath. I'm wondering if this meeting of the two, something might get produced or changed through this meeting of the two, somewhere along the line. Now, usually what that means, something gets produced or changed. To me, that means that your center of awareness, the gravity of it, the center of gravity of your awareness shifts from ego closer to the middle plane. And every time it gets closer away from the center of ego and closer to the source of dream, in other words, you're listening to it, your center of awareness is now somewhat united with the inner world. I mean, at least you're informed by it a little bit, where over here you weren't informed by it at all. So as your center of gravity moves closer, what informs you and what makes your decisions is not totally based on just willful action. That's what I consider transformation to be. You're just moving the center of gravity. Now, the other thing is, if you spend time working with dreams and with active imagination, synchronistic events are more likely to occur. You know, I mean, and the synchronistic events are, just magic. You know, just we talked about that 2 times ago. Wasn't that fun? Talk about that. But anyway, she says, having an eye that sees using the cooperation of the two together. I mean, I just saying, Dawn, this is very insightful. Having a foot in both worlds, or she capitalized or, having an eye that sees using the cooperation of the two together. Now, this shows to me that you really thought about it. You really thought about it because it's very insightful. I have the thought that for music and dancing is a way to meet the tiger. Now, this is exactly what I was thinking too. Is what can we do that is something that humans do naturally? I mean, the problem or reason we're sick is we're doing things that, let's say you were born in France in 35,000 BC in a very advanced Cro-Magnon man village, where they were producing all this beautiful art. They had a very developed civilization. They were hunter-gatherers. What would they do to, or say you were a Lakota Sioux, or you were a Naskapi Cree? They do things that are out of sync with nature. It like you would say in some slum in the middle of Philadelphia, or someplace like that. I mean, it's just where you live in a tenement, so all I'm saying is, let's just repeat what she says. She says, having a foot in both worlds, or having an eye that sees using the cooperation of the two together. Now, what is it that happens often with the just a second, Azim is here. Hey, Azim, we're really just talking a little bit about what a subject you brought up about. Yeah, hi, Azim.
This is my first time here in this group.
Oh, well, great. I mean, we can use the input. This lesson of the handless maiden, and Dawn had this question. Remember, we didn't answer it very well at the end. Let me just repeat what she says. She says she's wondering about the frequent meeting of our inner nature with what you meant with outer nature. You said that we have to be in sync with outer nature as well as inner nature. And that's because we are, we can't live isolated. We have to live in relationship with the outer world. And she's wondering if through the frequent meeting of the two, through dreams or whatever technique is used to reach what underneath, that something must get produced or changed. And she's heard about having a foot in both worlds, or, and she capitalizes or, having an eye that sees using the cooperation of the two together. And she has the thought that for music and dancing is a way to meet the tiger in us, or that aspect of us that is really the life that the tiger lives the life of the tiger. How does the human live like a tiger that lived the life of the human? And you were discussing too the idea of senses tastes of things, experiencing them at a deep, deep level. Now, this is something that Alan Watts once said, that for him, his religious ritual of the Tao was at dinner. He made his dinner his religious ritual. You know, the fact that he would eat with mindfulness and also enjoy the company of everyone he's with, and also enjoy or the sensate world. Anyway, we're just spending a little bit of time on this. So what do you have to say on reflection about this, Azine? Because, I mean, you brought it up in the first place, is what practical steps does one need to take to be like the handless maiden and get in sync with nature? What do you think?
I think the interface is our body.
Yes.
Anything related to body, because it's inside and outside, right? It's between inside and outside, and it's between mind and matter. And sensations are a part of body. I think anything related to body movement, sensation, is that interface. It creates the balance that you were talking about. Is your nature inside is in harmony with the nature outside.
That's what I've come to realize is two things, and then let's hear what everybody else has to say. Is that for me, the wisdom of the universe is in the forms of life. It's found in that wisdom that created life forms, and I'm a life form. So my access to that wisdom is in what that aspect that created life. Now, the thing is, we get confused about it has something to do with the spiritual aspect. The spiritual aspect brings some meaning, but the soulful aspect, the soul resides in the body, and the wisdom resides in the body. And we're going to talk about this in Roy's dream, because we're going to talk about the vessel. He sent us the dream. I'll put it in the text. But the idea too of when you make a descent, you are making a descent into body. I mean, what you're doing is you're descending into the depths. The depths represent that wisdom that's not up here. The depths are wisdom that comes from somewhere else. And I think, to me, it's just my own theory. I'm not saying this is true, but I'm just saying that sort of my inkling is that the depths are the wisdom that shape the body. Now, Roy has a lot of elemental dreams. This is Roy Stone here. And I think, yeah. And Dawn Marie, and then Charles. Charles is right now in Jackson, Mississippi. He doesn't feel too good tonight, but I think if he could tell us the dream, it'll be very, very good. Roy, what do you think? Now, Dawn had a lot of really good, insightful thoughts about this. What do you think?
Well, for me, it's just one. It's just one mind. All the people are just the diversity of the one, and we look at ourselves as separate, as apart from each other, and we have all these projections, and we live in a world of separation. And of course, that's the world of the body, the physis, the physical world. But we're really just one. So for me, it's like the light and the darkness is the one, the spirit, the place that we all come from, and who we really are is drops down into the darkness, the physis, the body, the soul. And we have to bring our light, but we forgot all about the light. We get wine, and we get socialized, and we ride with the posse, as I like to say, and we forget why we're here, and we forget our spirit. And we have to remember the light in the darkness, to bring the light into the darkness, and that's like the two worlds to me. The one world we're from is the world of light, where we're all from, our star, and we have to live in this darkness, but we don't have a future to it. We don't have any meaning or purpose or life unless we remember our light. So we remember our light, and we're in the darkness, and we have to deal with the everyday mundane world. But if we can remember our light, it's not so hard, and we can step lightly. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to bring up in conjunction with your dream that we'll just talk about in a minute or so. Is what James Hillman says, that the soulful life, a soulless life. Let's talk about a soulless life. That is when we take everything literally. Everything is literal. Now, what is a soulful life? The soulful life is the one where everything is alive through the power of the of images and the imaginal world. And this is what Marion Woodman says too, that we live in an age where matter is trying to become conscious. So all matter, all physics, as you said, is alive. And what Teilhard de Chardin said is psyche, or matter is psyche slowed down enough so that we can see it. So we're going to come in up about the vessel, because you had a dream about a vessel. Now, Charles, you were talking about harmonies, consonance, and dissonance, and rhythm, and the fact that one of the great revelations of your life was a dance, and after the dance, you experienced, you felt that you had beheld the Grail in that dance. Did you want to talk about that?
I pretty much said everything about it last time. I mean, it's indescribable.
Yes.
It was just being totally under the grace of God for a short while. And after the dance, it was how it. Oh, kind of music were you listening to? I was listening to, it was just one song called Blue March by The Pillows. I don't know why that song, but I don't even know the lyrics to it because it's all in Japanese.
Yeah, that's another interesting thing that Charles would someday, his dream is to go to Japan. And why is it? Can you remind us why you would like to go to Japan? It's just a place.
I think that I don't know, everything's just kind of cozy about it. I like the aesthetics of it, and it's my favorite language. And I don't know, it's always had a strong draw to it.
Well, let's discuss Roy's dream. I would like to, maybe at the end we can kind of review Dawn's dream too. But as long as we have a zine here, I mean, maybe she can help us with this dream. Let me see if I can get it in the chat here real quick. Just a second here. Okay. Now this is one of the things about Roy's dream is he has the most amazing dreams that have to do with the instinctive world. And I think this has a little bit of that in there. Let's see if we can draw it out a little bit here. But Azine, if you have a dream too, we can usually, Charles always has a dream. We did Dawn's dream last time, and I don't really think we finished it, and I would like to maybe review it at some point. But why don't we start with Roy's dream just so we can jump into something. Roy, do you want to read your dream?
Okay. September the 26th, this dream, trailer by the sea. I lived in this trailer by the sea. It was right by the water's edge and had its own little beach. Some man was interested in seeing my trailer and persisted, so I invited him inside. I had to move some obstacles just so we could walk through the entrance into the interior of the trailer. Near the rear of the trailer was a TV mounted on the wall and a receiver and CD player. My bed was next to this. There was no kitchen or bathroom or chair or table that I recall. I told the man, oh, well, I spend most of my time outside anyway. Last thing I remember is a grandmother wanted to buy my trailer for her son.
Okay, this is great. All right, now let's just go through the images and then everybody comments on it, and then we find out what Roy, first of all, do you have any, often I start on this dream and I'm completely off the track. Do you have any just initial thoughts about the dream?
Yeah, it reminds me of Telesporus again,
Yeah.
the orphan one. And it's right on the edge of the unconscious. And it doesn't seem to bother him at all. That's just one of my themes.
Yeah, tell us for us, are the two figures, well, there's a figure on Young's orphan stone, that's the Telesphorus. And then there is, in that figure of Mithra, there are two Telesphorus, one, or Kabiri, and one holds a torch that is pointed upwards and the other downwards. And I'm trying to remember who it was that said that we are all orphans living in an orphanage. All of us, everyone is an orphan, and we live in an orphanage. But anyway, let's just go through the images here. Now, first of all, you live in this trailer by the sea. Okay, that's a great setting. So now we've always had these images of either the house or the vehicle, okay, the car. Here we have a hybrid of the house and the vehicle. Okay, it's a hybrid of these two, and it's located by the great depths. You can have a lake, you can have a pond, you can have a river, but once you're by the sea, you're by the great depths. And it was right, almost touching the water, and had a little bit of land, a little bit of a beach. Now, this is I'm drawing a lot of this from Hillman. This vessel that contains ego is it's very near the unconscious or the image realm. Jung said that the unconscious and the afterlife realm is a realm of images. It speaks in images. If he says if we do have consciousness after death, he says we've moved into the realm of images. But I want to just I'm going to draw in a little bit what Hillman says about this. The vessel that contains ego is bordering the depths. Now, this is from Hillman. The vessel is soul. We are contained in the vessel, in soul. Soul is not contained in us. So in other words, we are in the vessel. Now, the soul is the container of ego. Now, it comes into being. This is again from Hillman, and he's really getting this from Jung. It comes into being through images and imagination, through the imaginal world. That and I just said that this is from Hillman. This what doesn't have these imaginal elements, the literalness, is soulless and dead. How this hybrid vehicle is very near. Now, the hybrid aspect has to do with the house, the domicile, and the wheeled vehicle. Now, usually in the house, you find out you don't own the house, someone else owns it, or you're supposed to be paying rent and you don't remember ever paying it for months and months, or the deed is lost, you're not sure if you have the deed or not. And the whole idea is, or you're in a house and you're there secretly, you know. So the idea is you're not the master in your own house. Now, or new rooms or new floors that you've never seen before suddenly appear. So that's the idea of the house, that it is more vast than we know. That's so is psyche. Now, the idea of the vehicle is I have these dreams all the time. I'm in the back seat trying to drive it, but the steering wheel's up in the front seat, and so are all the pedals and the brakes. So I can't brake it. I can't. So who's driving it? You know, the ego thinks it's driving the car. No, it's not. And the dream shows you in every way possible that no, you're not driving. You're riding in the vehicle. You think you're steering it and in control of the brakes, but you're not. You know. And anyway, so it's just this hybrid aspect is very interesting. Now, it's mobile. It's not fixed. So it has a mercurial aspect to it. It's not possessed by the house, which is pretty much fixed. Now, some man is interested in seeing my trailer. He's persistent. Now, why would he be so persistent? I must see what's inside your house. And we don't even seem to know what's in there ourselves. We find out because so this other aspect wants to see what Roy, do you know what's in inside the soul or inside your own psyche? Well, we don't really know. And now plus there's all kinds of obstacles to enter. So isn't this funny that the vehicle, this hybrid vehicle of soul that possesses both the qualities of the house and the qualities of the moving vehicle, it's not a clear entrance. We have to remove obstacles before we can get in. So what would those obstacles be? Usually they would be some conscious attitude which separates us from the inner realm of psyche or the soul. And the entrance is cluttered. Now now you get into the trailer and you see pretty much, it says near the rear of the trailer, but I think that the trailer is empty except for what you see, right, Roy? I mean,
well, you know, this trailer and a lot of trailers, at least down South Florida, are but 10-foot wide. You know, these new trailers, these double wides and all that, these are more modern trailers, prefabs and stuff. But most of them, the original trailers are only 10-foot wide. This is like one of the old trailers. It's about 40-foot long, 10-foot wide. So you know, it's like a hall in a regular house. It's just like a hall. I mean, it doesn't take anything to be obstructed. I mean, if you put a couch in there, a refrigerator in, it's obstructed. You only got 10-foot width.
But all you see in this is just something, a little bit of entertainment, TV, receiver, CD player, and the bed next to this. No kitchen, no bathroom, no chair or table. So the idea is that this soulscape within us is not very differentiated yet. I mean, it just has either that or it's very focused, but it doesn't have the kitchen. So there's an aspect of it that is maybe it, now the next line is going to kind of give us the clue. It says, I told the man, oh, well, I spend most of my time outside anyway. Okay, so, we were talking about this connection with inner nature and outer nature. Your real home is out in the instinctive world. I mean, it seems like the connection you have with life, soul is the archetype of life. Spirit is the archetype of meaning. But the instinctive realm is you are more at home or as at home in the instinctive realm as you are in the soul realm. So there is a balance here, because we have not overly furnished the inner realm of soul, because we don't need to, because we have a home in the outer. I spend most of my time outside anyway, so that's our explanation for a fairly Spartan inside of the trailer. Okay, and we're trying to explain that to this man who seems not to be the shadow or something. He's either the helpful companion or the self or something. Well, it'd be interesting to hear what Azine has to say. Now, so now that's it. Okay, the dream at that point has really come to a conclusion, but there is a final scene, and remember, it's from that first aspect of the dream. From this last sentence follows from that. Okay, and what we see is this: a grandmother wanted to buy my trailer for her son. Okay, so now this is the first time we've seen the feminine element. The feminine element is the wise old woman. Now, I think the trailer as the vessel is a feminine element. Okay, as the vessel, and as the soul. Now, the wise old woman and her son. So she's a grandmother, but this is her son, not her grandson. The wise old woman and her son. So the son of the great mother and the great mother are interested in our soul vessel. They want to become, to obtain some type of a. They want to make it part of themselves. They want to purchase an interest in it, or something like that. So anyway, that's our first stab at it. Charles, why don't you, do you have any comments on it? And then let's hear what Azine, because Azine does this a lot.
I really don't have anything to say about it. Just because my head's kind of.
Yeah, his head, he's not feeling that great.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Too well right now.
Yes. What do you think, Azine, about that?
That was very interesting what you said about the hybrid of house and vehicle. House is usually the state of consciousness. So what I see here is a state of consciousness that is moving.
Yes.
It's not in one of those integral states. We have this integral states, and then we move from this state to another state. So what I feel here is that it's talking about a moving state of consciousness.
Yes.
And the TV and the bed and CD player, I don't see it much. I don't know. I have to ask your personal reflection on it, Roy. But what I see here is receiving information. And the trailer is on a beach beside the ocean, which is unconscious. So basically what you do in that trailer is that you sleep and you receive information,
Beautiful.
right?
Beautiful.
And eating, kitchen, bathroom. Kitchen is like when you receive consciousness, you digest it and you go to bathroom and get rid of the rest, what you're not, what you do not want. So here I see a state that you're receiving information, but maybe you're not fully digesting it because you are in trance. You're moving. The state of consciousness is moving from one place to the other. And I have one animal figure and two animus figure, which is quite normal. Animal usually one figure and animus tends to multiply. So I think this state of this moving state has something to do with the first man and the son of that grandmother. The first man is interested in this state of consciousness. Just want to see what is, and there has been obstacles for this animus figure to come to the state of consciousness of receiving information, but you remove these obstacles. Now, this woman, this animal figure that can be self as well, the self, wants to own this space and give it to her son. So what I think you need to do is association. Like you have to find your personal reflection on these elements. Like this man, the first man, who this man reminds you of? What kind of character is it? And see these characters, both this man, as part of your own character, their inner personal. So you have to somehow write something about this guy. Who is he? Is he just curious person? Who this person reminds you of? Does he remind you of yourself in a way, a part of your past? I don't know. Also the son. Who is this son? And trailer, I think it has something personal association with you. I mean, I never lived in a trailer, but if you have lived in a trailer, if you owned a trailer, it's different from my interpretation. Yes. So I think you have to do a little bit personal reflection of the dream elements, the trailer, the TV. Like TV, for me, I don't own a TV. I don't like TV, okay? But for you, it might be an important part of your life, like connection to the other world.
The receiver, too. The receiver. I love the fact that you said it was a receptive. There are things there that receive messages, you know, and so it's the receptive aspect and the bed.
And the TV receives sounds and images, but the CD player only broadcasts or give away sounds, music. So there's a difference between the two of them. Yeah. What you receive and what you give, or
yeah, that is beautiful, Azine. I mean, it's absolutely it's just what do you think of that, Roy? I mean, I think there's some very good clues there.
Yeah, thank you for your insights. Because I have some context nobody else has.
Yes.
I dream of trailer parks quite often because I ran a trailer park, and I've lived in small trailers before, so it's a recurring theme. I've had dreams where somebody wanted my house, and one dream, I was going to give it to them, not give it to them, but, sell it to them. And then I regretted it, but I hadn't signed the contract yet.
Mhm.
So the way I look at the dream is that it reminds me of the David Bowie movie, The Man Who Fell to Earth. And wherever he lived on another planet, he got all his information from TVs about planet Earth. So when he came to planet Earth, he had this big bank of TVs because that's where he got his information. Then when he went out in the world, he discovered it wasn't anything like what he was watching on TV, and it really messed him up. Well, anyway, in this dream, with like telesports is a very common theme for me.
Mhm.
I feel like I just need a place, my home on Earth in Physis is this little place, and all I need is to receive the buzz of the planet, the music, and the video, and just a place to crash. That's all I really. It's really nothing, but for some reason, people want something that I have. They think
Yeah.
it's my house or whatever, but they don't know what it is. But they think, oh, if I could have that, then I would have what he has. But because it doesn't make any sense, literally. And an old trailer that's falling apart doesn't have anything in it. It's kind of worthless. But they see something in it. But what they see isn't really the trailer. And it's the telesports theme again. And I'm not ready to leave the earth. I'm like the man that fell to earth. I want to be plugged in. It's my home. It's my little home away from home. I'm not through with it yet. So I probably won't sell the trailer because I've been through that before, and I regretted it.
Yeah, there's two things. The first of all, the telesporus, this orphan aspect, does not have a fixed abode. They're wandering souls. And so they don't, and the fact that you have the relationship with this unfixed abode, and also that it is important, and it's a statement in the dream that even this traveling abode is really not the home of the orphan. The orphan's home is also out in nature, outside, and that is why you don't need a fixed abode as much as other people do. Your abode can be a one that moves, and it can be very sparsely. All it needs is something to receive. And I loved what Azine said about the now, can you repeat that, Azine, what you said about the kitchen is a place to make things to digest, and then the bathroom is the place where we get rid of that which was not needed by the body. And but neither one of those are here. So what was your conclusion about that? You said something about that there's something here that at least it's not showing that we're digesting. Maybe what was it you said?
It's a transformative state. It's not where you digest consciousness and you get rid of what you don't want, and it's not an integrated state of consciousness. You're moving from
yes, okay, the
one aspect
moving
to other, from one kind of character to another. And what you said, your personal association to the trailer, you see how important it is in the personal. You need to do the personal and then the application.
Yeah, yes. I mean, that's something we a little bit avoid because we're not trying to get too prying here. Yeah. But we get to know each other after a while. And what you're saying is this moving state of consciousness that Roy has, because he is the moving state of consciousness would be the state of the orphan. I mean, that's the consciousness of the telesphorus, is this moving state of consciousness. And because it is a moving state of consciousness, we can't really, we can't really digest what people have in the fixed state of consciousness. You know, now the go ahead.
But
Yes,
also, I think both animus figures were a part of himself.
Yes.
I mean, we come to this subjects, this depth psychology field, sometimes just being curious because we have dreams and we want to have answers. But at some point, we transfer into owning this consciousness, like it becomes a part of us. It's not just a subject of curiosity, it's who you are. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my reflection.
Okay, yeah, now let's just go over that too, because there's a thing that we've got 4 figures in the dream. Now, Roy often has a male companion who does not appear to be the shadow. Who is it? Al?
Al.
Yeah, Al's one, and there's a couple others that appear often. Some of the people that you knew before, but anyway, Al's the Taoist. So what we've got in the dream is the dream ego. We've got the inquisitive bystander who is very persistent. Okay. Now, what aspect of our inner self is very persistent by that we go in and it doesn't seem like we're too aware of what's in that trailer, because we just we're sort of surprised ourselves that we don't recall seeing a kitchen, bathroom, a chair, or a table, you know, but you know, and there's all these obstacles to get through. But the persistent person and the dream ego move aside the obstacles, move in, and then they see this sparse thing. And then the explanation is that, well, we don't spend all our time here. Okay, now those are the 2 aspects of one, the dream ego, the other, the persistent, curious male companion who seems to be not so curious himself. He wants us to go and witness it. He wants to force us to go in and see what's inside the trailer. You know, he's very persistent. Okay, then on top of that, so you got the persistent. Now you have the one who wants to purchase. She's the only feminine character in it. She seems to be the wise old woman. You know, she's the feminine aspect, but she seems to represent the self in us. What do you think, Azine? I mean, it's more the grandmother, not the mother. Now, this is one thing that Hillman and Young said. The one thing the anima never has is the mother aspect. You know, I mean, she's not maternal at all. You know, there's the mother, and then there is the anima. Well, she can have a child, but she's not. She's usually there's an aspect of that. The anima is usually not very maternal, but here it's not just the mother; it's the grandmother. Now she wants to buy it for her son. Okay, so the great mother wants the son. Now, if these 3 aspects are aspects of us, the persistent one who almost it seems to be there to force us to go in and take an inventory, and then decide after we take the inventory is why is this place so sparse? Well, it's because we also have an anchor in the outer world, and then the great mother comes in, and so let's just say this: the self wants to acquire something that we have. You know, in other words, I don't know. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what
Well, anima and animus, they're both bridges to self.
Yes.
But what I see here is a lot of Hermes, Mercury. The child, the golden child is there. The grandmother's son is the golden child. And the vehicle, transportation, buying and selling,
Mhm.
receiving messages, they're all Mercurian.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea of that Mercurius is the god of buying and selling.
Yeah,
know,
all of
and-
these aspects is Mercury,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I mean,
Messages, buying, selling, traveling, it's all Mercury.
yeah, the idea of buying and selling to me, as far as Mercurius is concerned, is because it's always done at usually it's the middle realm. You know, Mercurius is as comfortable in the upper world as he is in the lower world or in the middle world, and you know he is as good of friends with the thief and the robber as he is with the saint. You know, I mean, he's everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's the middle character, you know, and so the usually the realm of commerce means that the ones who provide the things bring their goods to a central place, the bazaar or the market, and then someone comes and can see what has been brought, and you know, so it's a central middle place where now when you're buying something, you are using libido or psychic energy to acquire something. So she is saying that she is willing to exchange psychic energy. She is willing to impart her psychic energy into this place. So if the great mother and her son Hermes or Mercurius is wanting to invest psychic energy in our vehicle, you know? I mean, that's just beautiful. It really is. I mean, woo! What do you think of that, Roy?
Oh my God. Let me just bring it back to some context.
Okay.
The guy that comes in and wants to see my trailer, he's an extroverted sensate. He wants to buy a trailer, that sort of sensate. He's persistent and sort of extroverted. That's my shadow, of course. I'm not very conscious of that, a particular type of energy. And I suspect that this guy, he tried to buy a home for me before. His name's Jerry, one of my friends.
Oh.
And I hadn't signed the contract, and I got it back. It really woke me up. Now, the grandma, that's probably his mom. He's going to do a sneaky thing. He's going to try to get his mom to do it. Now, when I had a trailer park, it happened all the time. The moms and the grandmas always tried to buy a trailer for their son, and always turned into a nightmare because he was a bum. You know, he never worked. He did drugs. I mean, he was not an asset to the trailer park. I had to go through this all the time. And so these are sort of unconscious things to me that aren't pleasant. Now, I don't like to find myself back there again, but I'm getting pretty savvy to it. You know, I'm getting pretty savvy to it. Tell Sparse, you know, he knows what's going on this time. You know, they're not going to be a bit tricky.
That's great context. Okay. See, here's the thing. Now, we didn't know that the persistent guy didn't say that he was interested in buying the trailer.
Of course not.
No.
I'm on to him.
Okay, but you suspected he wanted to buy the trailer. That's why he wanted to see the inside. He's wanting to get a price for it. Now, this is the shadow aspect. So isn't this amazing? Now you got this, the grandmother wants to buy it. This shadow aspect wants to buy it. And she's saying she wants to buy it for her son. You don't see her son. You see, well, what does it say?
They're working together.
Yeah, they're working together. So the shadow and this mother aspect, the mother of the shadow, or the grandmother's, oh no, it is the mother of shadow, is trying to acquire. Now this puts a totally different spin on it. What do you think, Azine, about those facts?
I just realized that this transformative state of consciousness is happening in Hermes archetype. Because Hermes in lower levels is cheap, it's a thief, it
Yes,
tricks,
he's
it's
a thief.
trickster. But at its higher development, it's a messenger of gods and receiving messages from the ocean through that TV. So I think what you're going through is that the Hermes part of you, the Hermes, this God in your consciousness, you're growing in that.
He's called Hermes the Thief.
Yeah.
That's his title. He's Hermes the Thief. And so, it is this
everything you experience in life is also a projection of your inner gods, right? So if you see a lot of people tricking, and this is a lower part of experiencing Hermes.
Yeah, the lower aspect of that.
But now you're going to, I mean, you're owning this state of receiving information from unconscious. That's a great dream. So,
oh, it is. Yeah, it is a great dream. And you know, now the whole idea is that that you don't often see the mother of the shadow in a dream very much. The idea is the shadow is cast by light of the ego. The shadow is cast by the light of the ego. So, when the mother comes in, she is not cast by the light of the ego, or especially the grandmother. She is a archetypal figure who's in the unconscious.
I don't see her as a shadow figure. Maybe unlearned shadow, light shadow, but I don't see anything dark about her.
Yeah, he's a trickster. He's pretty much a trickster, which would kind of make him a little bit,
because of his experience that he had with this Hermetic character. There is a shadow aspect, but what I see it more is just like self and
stealthy
integration of the state.
Yeah, it's just a strange. It really is a strange commentary on the fact that we live in. We have a sparse connection with civilization. I mean, in the trailer, it's very sparse, and we have also a fairly robust relationship with the outer world. So we're in balance. And then this trickster figure comes in. And Roy, do you remember how it ended with the trickster guy, or he just sort of
I woke up and I immediately, I was somewhat conscious of it. You know how I am in my dreams. I'm a little bit conscious,
lucid.
but I can't do anything, doesn't seem like, but I'm a little bit lucid. And when I woke up, oh man, then I knew the deal. Oh my God. I have to revisit this unpleasant stuff that, I mean, I was a slumlord. All my life, I've been in the chthonic realm. I don't think I'm gonna get out of it this time around, but I'm learning my way around. It's full of thieves and tricksters and just no end to it. I mean, it's unbelievable. Thank God I found my spirit, some light. I mean, it's just a miracle I'm still alive. It's really dark down there in the chthonic realm.
Yeah, I'd say that the thing is that the God, now remember too, the usual figures that we see that are elemental gods are shoe-billed storks and other who's name some of the
hippos, crocodiles,
and
the shoe-billed stork, T-Rex, snakes and giant, reptile type dinosaur things, all that kind of stuff, sharks.
So the images of the central figure, or the figure at the center are very elemental, and they don't seem very high up.
No.
They're in the instinctive aspect, and so are we. And I don't think we want to or are going to get go anywhere else. Yeah.
What about what Roy answered, said about being outside most of the times.
Mhm.
Do you think there's a shift in your consciousness coming from outside to inside?
I spent all my life trying to get outside. You know, I was born inside, and everybody, it seemed like that I had attachments to, you know, were just telling me to get outside. You know, stand up, quit daydreaming. This isn't so, that isn't so. Delusions of grandeur, on and on. I mean, they wanted me outside. They were pulling on me. It was a huge conspiracy, day and night, to get me out.
So you're basically saying that I don't need a lot of stuff in the trailer because like in my inner life, it's happening, I'm receiving information and I'm moving, my consciousness is moving, and so I can be outside.
Yeah.
Doing things outside.
Yeah, I always been outside all my life. Well,
Very
I grew up
free.
in a small town, and you know, back then in the 50s, you could go out in the woods, and as long as you were back for dinner, nobody asked nothing. And kids were just out doing outrageous things out in the bushes and woods, you know, on railroad tracks and crossing rivers and getting lost up in mountains. And, you know, somehow they made it back for dinner. Nobody cared.
Mhm. Well, let's kind of finish just with the strange tensions. Okay, you've got the dream ego. You've got the mobile, this mobile state of consciousness. You've got this trickster figure who we've seen a lot. We've got our relationship with the outside, which seems to trump everything. You know, I think it has an idea that trumps everything. And then you also have a relationship not only to the ancestral realm, the grandmother, but the grandmother who's is a mother. You know, she's the great mother or some maternal aspect. So we've got dream ego, this mobile, sparse relationship with possessions, the very important relationship to the outer instinctive realm, that trickster figure who's always trying to trip us up somehow, you know, and then you have also the relationship to the feminine and the ancestral realms, and she seems somewhat in cahoots with Hermes or this trickster figure anyway, you know. So, I mean, don't you think that's a strange tension? Now, isn't it somewhat?
Not for me.
Yeah,
Not
it's
for me.
well, yeah, I know it's not strange, but it is, what I'm saying is it's almost somewhat symmetrical.
It is symmetrical.
No one really seems to have more power than the other one.
It's coherent and symmetrical. Yes.
Yeah, it is, but it's
archetypal. It's archetypal. It's so coherent and symmetrical. It's archetypal. You know, it's a pattern, eternal pattern.
Yes, and it sort of describes your existence on Earth.
My existence, yes.
Yes, and I don't think you either are going to or want to change it that much because it's in balance.
No, it's real. It's real. I want what's real. I don't want what I like or what I would want to want. I want what's real. And this feels real to me.
Well,
it feels real.
It's a wonderful statement of the different centers of our existence and what you know, what are those different centers of some type of they're always with us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them are.
Mm-hmm. Every day.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What time is it? It is 8:03. So we kind of went through Charles, do you have a dream? And what is today? Wednesday?
I had something here.
Sure.
Just what you just said, Roy, it was a message from Hermes to me. I want what is real.
Mm-hmm. I want what is real.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I tend to get lost in underworld, but now in my life, everything is getting real. So that was a message to me. Also, I think the best closure to any dream is not interpreting it, but just as I know that Craig also do a lot of paintings and drawings. So it might be, I don't know if you like it or this is something you do, but I would paint something, I would draw something, this dream, this trailer and these characters. And I always suggest to my students that they create a ceremony, something that grounds all of this,
Oh,
makes
that's
it
beautiful.
real, it's grounding and giving back to unconscious. So conscious becomes unconscious again. But,
Now that
so
came up
anyways,
last, that
yeah,
came up
so
last week and asking Dawn to be participatory in a dream that she had, which let me just describe it quickly. She is adrift in the ocean with her son and her daughter and a niece. Okay, and the helicopter. This is an often imaging her. This upper realm thing comes. It has a rope that it lowers down to her. She tries to get the rope. It's not an adequate thing to bring her up. She grabs it with her hands. It pulls her and her son up, but she knows she's just going to fall back into the water. So she frantically asks to be let down. And the person in the helicopter says, okay, but there's sharks in the water. So then she realizes that it's danger in the realm of the animus, and it's danger where I am right now, adrift in this kind of unconscious realm. And one of the things that Roy, when we were going through it, Roy was saying that, what was it, Roy? You said something about we need to participate. Do you remember what you said?
Oh yeah, she's always about to get rescued, and the balloon popped or something, and she can't get out of the hole. You know, you have to participate. The thing's not going to rescue you. You got to rescue yourself. You know, I'm always getting on her case about that.
Well, and that's what I think what Azine was saying about the grounding by some type of a ceremony or something after you have a dream is participating. And it's an after dreaming the dream on, we are somewhat doing the rescue now through that ceremony. What do you think, Azine, on that?
yeah, I think it's about action,
Yeah,
manifestation, doing something about it. Or
yeah.
that's the best way to be grateful to dream consciousness, to do something, receive the gift, the message, and manifest it into something.
Yeah, and what we're really doing through this strange exercise of going through these images is we are bringing soul into our life. We are bringing we are bringing a soulful world into our nature. You know, I mean, we were talking before about you know, how do we get the inner, there's a primeval forest within us. It's the realm of dreams. And then there's also the fact that we can't be isolated in our introversion, that we need to participate in the outer world and somewhat getting them in sync. But the idea you mentioned this at the beginning, Roy, something about that is to bring, I'm putting words in your mouth, but to make things come alive or something, so they're not dead or something. I don't remember exactly what you said. It was, do you remember?
Yeah, I'm not sure what context this is from, but me and you both talk a lot about that, bringing things alive. How do you bring something alive? Well, you got to participate, and you have to imagine that life exists, and you can be part of that too. You know, what does it feel like to be alive? And you imagine back when you were a kid and somebody gives you a bunch of watercolors and you're painting or whatever, or you're going on some kind of canoe thing in the lake and time just disappears and you're just totally in the stream of things. I mean, that's alive.
Well, what really it is, and this is, I think, is what it's magic. Okay.
It's magic. There you go.
Yeah,
It's magic.
okay.
Oh
See,
yeah,
see,
magic.
Yeah, you had the idea of what Jung says, what the ancients called magic, we call psyche. So what we do is we bring into every event the magic. Okay, the magical realm. Now, the magical realm is the one of music, of taste, of ritual, of really
Play.
yes, it is play, and you are not taking any. You are if something is magical, it's not literal. You know, you're really bringing in that aspect. Now, you had the last was, I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago, but you know, you're given he had a kind of a pogo stick, little stool, and this little anima invites him into her house. The mother comes and says, "Why did you invite him into the house? Get out of here," she tells Roy. And he says, "Well, do I get my hopping stool?" "No, you get this staff, which is a magic wand." And so now he's sort of like Aquarius with the vase of water, but it's a magical wand. And then he finds the anima later, and he is going to teach her magic. You know, I mean, whoo, I love it. I mean, that's very anyway. That's sort of dawns. I'm hoping the participatory aspect is to bring the magic where there is no magic. You know, let's say it's this very this place where we're not safe in the ocean because of the sharks, and we're not safe because the animus has not provided us an adequate bridge to get out of this hole we're in. How do we get out? We get out through some kind of a magical aspect. And I think what Azine is saying is, through dreaming the dream on, is like for Azine, you would say that if you were to do a ceremony or something, what you're really doing is a mass, some type of a magical ceremony to bring incense and magic and something of an otherworldly atmosphere or mood into this life. And so you're bringing a little bit of the whiffs of that dream into concrete reality, you know, a little bit. You know, I just think that's beautiful, and we can all use it. You know, I mean, that's something we could all use. I mean, what Robert Johnson, I've told this story. You know, he told a Benedictine monk to do that. You know,
I remember that.
Yeah, and the Benedictine monk says, "What is it now? What do you want me to do?" And he says, "Go look at the bark of 10 trees." He throws his hands up. He actually goes and looks at the bark of 10 trees. What happened? He was never the same again, because he had discovered the feeling function and he had discovered the sensate function. And he was this thinking person who thought that was the only reality. And suddenly he had discovered a new reality. And it was through this ceremony that Robert Johnson suggested to him. He discovered nature. He discovered the sensate realm, and he now has an eyebrow relationship with tree bark that didn't exist.
And that woman that she dreamed about a temple, and she did her ceremony, and then she found the same kind of temple outside in real life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
In my experience, most of my students have a lot of issues in this stage, finding grounding and finding a ceremony that is some kind of manifestation of this dream, they always say, please help me this time. I'm really clueless. I don't know what should I do. But I insist that they go through this journey of finding what kind of ceremony they have to do. And there's always magic there. There's always a new arrival of the new consciousness that the dream message was really, really, really about. So to me, this is a very important stage that you find, as simple as it might be. And they can be really creative. They become very creative when they really don't know what to do. And that's when the closure happens.
Well, this,
Because
you
it's
know,
not about understanding the symbols and getting an idea, a mental idea. It's a dream is an experience. It is real, right?
no, you can't deny it. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's truth. You can't deny it because it happened to you. And,
Yeah.
and you know, Jung said that someone told him, he says, well, I'm sorry, I haven't had such an experience. And Jung said, well, I'm sorry, I have. You know, in other words, you can't deny the experience you have, especially if you do all of this work on it, and now it becomes a magical aspect. Now, Charles, do you want to just tell us the dream real quick? But as you're getting started, one thing, this guy I used to work with, his name was Michael Harner. He taught shamanism, and he said that what you would do is you go out into nature and you bring back 6 things. You discover and find 6 things, you put them together, and then you tell me how are they related. That was, you know, it was always so beautiful when you did that. I mean, as far as me, I only did it 2 or 3 times, but each time was magical. Charles, you want to tell us a dream? Maybe just give a zine a flavor of. Now, I'm just saying, Roy has this wonderful relationship with the unconscious. So does Dawn. Wait till you hear Charles. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I sent one in your email.
Okay, you sent one to my email. Okay, just a second. I'll get it in 2 seconds here. I just happen to have my email handy, I think. All right, let's see here. Whenever I say I have it handy, it always takes a while to load up. Okay. All right, let's see. Here's Charles. Yeah, here's his dream. Okay.
And
Put it
yeah,
in the chat here. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
it was
Yeah.
it's all
All right.
voice to text, so there's no like punctuation or anything. And,
Okay,
you know,
great. That's no problem. But when did you have this dream?
I woke up Sunday morning with that dream.
Okay, great. Let's see.
I had a more recent dream just the other day, but
Well, let's just start with this one. I didn't get it all in there, but just a second. While you're reading, I'm gonna find out where it got left off. Okay, family at an Airbnb. Okay, yeah, here it is. All right, let's see. All right, where did that go? All right, embarrassed. That's my mom. Oh, okay, all right, here it is. And also my sister. There we go. Zine, I can see why they pay you the big bucks. You're very good at this.
Who pays me
Just
the
off the
big
cuff.
bucks? Nobody pays me.
Okay.
I just
All right. Go ahead, Charles. You want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
oh, I didn't realize I was muted. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I was about to take my flight for New Orleans, but the weather was really bad. Even though I already seemed to be in New Orleans, and went to the computer to try to type weather St. Louis, but I tried many times and I could not type weather. And eventually I was just like, screw it. Also, the keyboard was hinged in the middle of the keyboard, so I could like fold it in half. I forgot to write that. Chase is with me, and we looked out the window, and it was hailing and pouring rain, and there's snow all over the ground. It was pretty bad, but I could also hear a band playing outside. And so I went downstairs and I asked my mom, I don't know what I asked her, but I guess we had some strange Airbnb. It was kind of hard to describe the house or building or whatever. And I asked my mom if she thinks the plane will still like be able to take off, and she says, yeah, as long as I get there on time. And we're kind of, I guess, in the living room, the doors to go outside right there, and we're only covered by a thin curtain, so I could see everybody walking by on the sidewalk. It seems to be like downtown, the French district. And one of the doors, I guess, was cracked open, and somebody from outside came in, and they kind of freaked out, and they were really surprised and embarrassed that I guess I don't know what they thought it was, but they're just really shocked and embarrassed. And I guess they were not expecting it to be some family at an Airbnb. And also, my sister was right there by the door, but it was not her. It didn't look like her at all. And yeah, suggested that we should maybe close the door all the way.
Okay, great. Now, you know, these dreams that seem a little mundane and everything, they're often not if you just unpack them a little bit. So let me just spend about 3 minutes trying to at least split it up. We're only going to go to the half hour, but I was about to take my flight to New Orleans, but the weather was really bad, even though I already seemed to be in New Orleans. And I went to the computer to type the weather St. Louis, but I tried many times and could not type weather. And eventually I said, screw it. Okay. This happens to me a lot. You know, people are asking me to dial a number and I just sit there. I can't do it. They're just, so now here's the idea is you're going to New Orleans, but you're already in New Orleans. You know, but you're not sure if you're going to if you can't type the weather for St. Louis. So there's this just aspect of the ego consciousness needs to do something it's totally incapable of doing. Now Chase appears very often in your dreams, so that should be a capital C. Now, can you describe who Chase is? He's just your friend.
Chase is my friend that was is schizophrenic.
Yes, he's the schizophrenic. One time he's in a window and his eyes are like whirligigs, you know. So you just there's snow on the ground. It's pretty bad. So it's just how are we going to get down to New Orleans? So we have to be in New Orleans. There's an aspect of how are we going to get down there? And you go downstairs. You ask your mother. That's a very interesting relationship Charles has with his mother. And I guess we got some weird Airbnb. And I asked my mother if she thinks the plane will take off, and she says yes. I just got there. I just got there on time, and the doors to the outside were right there and only covered by a thin curtain. So I could see everybody walking by. Now, this is a recurring theme. There's a thin curtain between us and the outer world. And I can see everybody walking by. And one of the doors, I guess, was cracked open and somebody from the outside came in and they were kind of freaked out. they are really surprised and embarrassed and not to expect to be some family at an Airbnb. Also, my sister was right by the door, but yeah, we're gonna have to correct some of the typos in this. Anyway, this is this. I don't know if we're gonna get to it. Does anybody have some any comments on it at this point? I mean, I have to sit and think about these. But Azine, it's a little amorphous right now, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. The first thing that came to my mind was the snow.
Yeah. Mhm.
This is usually stuckness in consciousness, frozen consciousness.
He's had dreams about the ice before.
Mm.
Yeah. What do you think, Roy? What do
Oh,
you
it's just too much to do in 5 minutes. I mean.
Yes, I know. I can't.
My
I
God,
can't
it's
do
all
it.
over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't get at it in 5 minutes. Azine, did you have a dream that you want to go over at some point, or you can just if you come? We're Monday and Wednesday, but you know sometimes you don't have to. But you know, I mean, you're very helpful on other people's dreams. Yeah.
Oh, I just had the last dream that I had was very interesting because sometimes I get into a fight with my unconscious.
Yeah.
It's useless because
Yeah.
you send me all these deep messages, but I want something for real that I can use in my daily life, and you never provide me that.
Yes.
So I have
Well,
this same fight before going to sleep, and it usually gets back to me, the unconscious. Like this time, I had a very interesting dream. I was listening, I was seeing the lyrics of a song. The language was something between Arabic and Spanish.
mhm.
I could see every word. It was very interesting lyrics. I could understand the language, and it was very beautiful. Like I just recently watched this movie Nightingale, and there's this woman who sings, I don't know what language it is, but she repeats this word at the end of every verse 3 times, like earth, earth, earth. And it was very interesting. So in this dream also, I could hear the words like 3 times at the end of every verse. So sometimes I think the dream is not meant to be interpreted. It's an experience. And I feel that my unconscious was saying that it has done this many times to me, that it shows the ability, the level of creativity. And because I created that song, I wrote that song in my dream mind did that. And I remember the first time that I was attracted to dream and dream interpretation was that I saw myself in a basement. And I saw all these designs, dresses, that piles of them, fashion design. I mean, the design was unbelievably creative. Piles and piles of them. And when I woke up, I told myself, oh my God, it was me who created all this design, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes unconscious just shows you the power
Mhm.
and challenges you that this is what I am. This is the level of creativity I'm offering you.
Yeah, I was telling you, Roy, last time, you know, that I asked the great mother who lives in this place where there's no life on earth yet. And she tells it, she says, this needs to be in you, this earth that has not come to being yet. And you need to be like me, and you need to bring forth life on this desert planet. And then, you know, I'll just tell you a couple things I saw this morning, you know, in just a little bit of glimpses of active imagination. You know, one was the front steps of my house were getting swallowed up by dirt. So, you know, this house of mine was sinking into the earth. Now, this is always something, a great need of me is thinking in the earth. Here's the other one, this image, and it was there was this monster zombie-like figure who would take sacrificial victims out one at a time and sacrifice them. Now, this to me was like the handless maiden, you know. The dreamless zombie figure is my ego. And it's just saying, okay, what aspect of myself am I going to sacrifice to not live in sync with my inner nature now? You know, what aspect of myself is going to be just, you know, all I have to do is give away my apple tree in the backyard, you know, and then I can live in this soulless literal realm, but a little more prosperously, you know.
Yeah.
But what aspect of myself do I have to give up? But anyway, why don't we'll now, Charles, I'm going to type up your dream again and I'll send it out, and then you can see if I corrected all the typos. But Azine, thank you very much. And I'll tell you, it's just if you come back again, you're going to find out how these wonderful dreams that Roy, Charles, and Dawn have are just Roy's dreams in particular. I have learned so much from them, and I think his dream this time, the symmetry of it is sort of almost tells that, like you said, Roy, the circuit of all your dreams is somewhat represented here in that dream.
No, I'm not selling my trailer by the sea.
No, that is
I
the
got
way.
that.
Yes, that is the way to sum that one up. Well, anyway, I'm so glad you came, Azine, and come anytime. Every Monday and Wednesday, we just spend about.
Yeah, I just figured out how to join this dream group, and you're a treasure. I'm not gonna miss this sessions.
Well, yeah, come anytime. I mean, we're just all trying to, it just activates me. For the next 3 or 4 days, I don't think about anything but these dreams, and I just keep mulling them over.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Charles and Dawn. I hope you feel better, Charles. Charles does not feel very well tonight, and thank you, Roy, too. Okay.
See you guys.
We'll see you all later. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.